This is Shawn Tempesta, age 37 from Las Vegas, Nevada. Shawn feels a level of disrespect from longtime guest and friend of the show, Will Dorsey. After having fed him, brought him to a hockey game, and welcomed him to his fair city, Shawn feels like he was purposely ignored during his last trip to the Valley. This is William Bartholomew Dorsey, age 31 from Colorado Springs, Colorado. William visited Las Vegas and met up with several friends, all of which he met on Free4All with Shawn Tempesta. He went bowling, went to an escape room, and even played pinball, all without inviting Shawn. He's accused of throwing a gutter ball. In the court of Free4All, there are two stories, and then there is the truth. The case you're about to hear is real. The witnesses are sworn to tell the truth by penalty of death. The viewers will be the jury. This is the Free4All's court. All rise for the Honorable Judge Spoon presiding.
I have a gavel. We are all here. Please be seated.
We have a children's hammer.
Listen, my house is packed up right now. This is all I had accessible. It's my son's picture. Leave me alone.
You have a children's
wrong right now.
hammer.
Can we silence her, please? Can we silence her, please? Thank you.
It's okay, Spoon. You'll nail this case.
I will. I will. I know nothing about it, but I will. All right, I want to welcome everybody to the Free4All court, and I am your Judge Spoon. We are here today.
I will not be honored for the entirety. Sorry.
There you go.
Oh my God, Francisco, I love you.
God, this is
Today we are here to find out the truth. What is the truth? It is that which is true, or in accordance with fact or reality.
Are you Googling what to say?
It was a definition. Do you know the definition of truth?
leave my mother alone.
You keep it up, you're going to be in contempt of court.
Okay. Shawn, I love you. I'll be quiet for you.
Thank you.
So we're here to find the truth. Now let me toss it over to the plaintiff, Mr. Shawn Tempesta.
Thank you.
You have 1 minute for your opening argument, and I am starting now.
Thank you very much. On July 13th, 2020, in the height of the pandemic, our show welcomed a new guest who became a friend of the show by the name of one William Dorsey of Colorado. William has served as a frequent guest and even a mod of Free4All over the course of nearly 13 months, and for a good portion of that time has been an upstanding individual to the best of the understanding of my client. My client has taken Mr. Dorsey out for dinner for a Las Vegas Golden Knights game in which he jinxed the team and made them lose. And he also pulled out the red carpet for the defendant. It was to my client's utter dismay that Mr. Dorsey visited Las Vegas once again as of a couple weeks ago, especially over the dates of July 17th and 18th, and didn't think to invite my client, Mr. Tempesta, to any of his get-togethers, which he had members of the Free4All community, members of which he would have not have known if it wasn't for my client. I ask that the jury listen to all the facts in this case and find in favor of the true victim in this case. That is Shawn Tempesta. I thank you, Judge, for your time, and I relinquish the rest of my time to the court.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, man, do I want to say something.
Mr. William Bartholomew Dorsey, you have 1 minute starting now.
Yes, thank you, court. So my name is William Dorsey. I'm just coming to you to, fight for my honor. I mean, these claims that are being made against me are, they're unfounded. Like, I mean, I don't understand where Shawn Tempesta is getting this from. I mean, you will find through the facts in this case that, I did my damnness to make sure that, he knew everything to the best of my ability. I understand that there were some mistakes that were made, and it's okay. It's okay. That's why we're given second chances. And well, I didn't prepare a statement, so I'm done. Whatever.
Thank you, Mr. Dorsey.
I believe that is an admission of guilt in the opener. That's pretty amazing.
Order. We have a format we are sticking to. Okay. We have 3 witnesses to be called today. You each get 3 minutes to question them. Let's call our first witness, Mr. Francisco with the good hair.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
If you may,
Mr. Tempesta, you will first question the witness.
Thank you very much. 3 minutes. Francisco, thank you for joining Mr. Castro. I see that you ended up going bowling and going to an escape room with Mr. Dorsey. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Can you please tell me did you have fun during these engagements? Were these things that you enjoyed doing?
It was scary.
Scary. Okay. Okay. Fair.
And
okay.
A little bit of fun.
A little bit of fun. Okay. Out of curiosity, did you find it peculiar during your time bowling with several members of the Free4All community and going to the escape room? Did you find it peculiar at all that Mr. Tempesta was not there to take part in said festivities?
It was a little bit rare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To the point where you're speechless.
Yes.
Yes. Out of curiosity, did anyone at the event notice or mention, hey, is Shawn coming today, or?
I don't think so.
Okay. Out of curiosity, did Mr. Dorsey give explicit instructions not to invite Shawn Tempesta or any other members of the Free4All community?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you. If you had known Mr. Tempesta was not invited to, say, bowling or to the escape room or to any of the other events of gallivanting that you guys took part in, would you have suggested that the defendant invite Mr. Tempesta, as he is the reason why you know each other?
I would agree.
Do you like Mr. Tempesta?
I do.
Do you believe Mr. Dorsey likes Mr. Tempesta?
Objection.
I'm sure he does.
Objection?
Overruled.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Out of curiosity, what was the final score in bowling? Who won?
Well, there was 2 games.
Okay.
Of which Sam Nunley kicked everyone's ass.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yup. It's true.
Did you win? Did you win in both of these games, or in just one?
She did both of them.
May I ask how the defendant was in the game of bowling?
Well, first game he needed coaching from me.
Objection!
What's your objection?
He's not wrong.
Why is the judge laughing?
It was funny. Overruled.
If I may reclaim my time.
Yes.
How was Will Dorsey a positive or a negative for your escape room plans? Did he help you escape, or was he more of a hindrance?
He helped.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Mr. Castro, thank you so much for taking the stand today. I will relinquish the rest of the night time, and your hair looks fantastic as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hitting the post, absolutely. Oh my god.
All right, now
Mr. Dorsey, your turn to question the witness. You have 3 minutes.
Hello, Francisco. Thank you for joining us here in court today. So real quick, I just want to point out again, did myself or anyone else within the group make a point to say that do not invite Mr. Tempesta to any events over the course of the trip?
No, there wasn't.
Okay, and do you feel like there was any kind of ill will from myself towards Mr. Tempesta?
No.
Okay. And during these events, did you at any point decide that you wanted to invite Mr. Tempesta to anything?
Eventually, if I would have found out about it.
Can you clarify?
Please try that answer again, sir.
Eventually, would have invited him if I would have known that he wasn't invited.
Okay. And I mean, was it a situation where you felt as if you had to know that he wasn't invited in order to invite him? Like, was it solely the responsibility of Mr. Dorsey, myself, to invite him?
Not necessarily.
Okay. So, like, in the future, would you invite Mr. Tempesta regardless of whether or not would you invite him regardless of whether or not anybody else invited him?
Absolutely.
Okay. I mean, I really, that's all the questions I have, because frankly, I just got to say that it was not, well, I guess I can't, testify for you, but you should have invited him.
Oh my God, Will.
Oh my God!
Hey, contempt of court there. This is not about Mr. Castro and his experience with the activities. This is about your experience with the activities. So please try not to place blame on somebody else, Will.
If I may,
I'm sorry, Judge.
My client and I would like to gather for a moment for a quick conversation. May we have the jury take the screen for just a moment?
Gosh. Oh
Sure.
my gosh.
Oh, I'm the jury?
You're the jury. Dear jury, do you solemnly swear to be truthful?
I do.
That is not how
Right,
it works in jury duty.
In this
Never been called up. I've always gotten into the room. And just sat there.
I've served on a jury twice.
Can the jury ask a question?
This is the free-for-all.
No, the jury doesn't ask questions until deliberation,
Okay.
and you can only
Write
ask
the
it to the
question
judge.
down
That's
so
it.
you remember.
I remember it. I got it right here in my thinking spot.
So how are
So
you guys
didn't,
tonight?
you didn't do voir dire or
Joe
anything.
Quill,
How do you
listen.
know I qualify?
Because you do? I don't know. Are you drunk?
You know, who picked this jury pool? Because, I mean, I feel
Can't
like
complain
I should
about
have
the
been
jury
given the
pool.
option.
You can't complain about
What?
the jury pool.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
It's a jury of your peers, Will.
Come on, William.
Vegas peers.
Who's the
All right.
who's the next witness?
Are we
'Cause
ready
I'm
for
ready.
the next witness?
Yes, I am.
I would like to call to the stand Miss Samantha.
My
Mr.
baby!
Tempesta,
Doing.
you
Hi.
have 3
Hello.
minutes to question the witness, and then we'll turn it over to Mr. Dorsey.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Samantha, did you pick up Will from the airport?
Yes.
Okay. How did you know Mr. Dorsey was arriving at the time and location he was arriving?
He told me previously when he booked his flight that he was
Okay.
coming out.
That's fine. Now, if I may, the defendant claims that no plans were made and he was going with the tide, as it were. How were the plans made to go to these events, and how did others find out about events such as the escape room and bowling and so on and so forth?
We talked about doing said things. We just didn't have like a set day we were doing them on until he got here.
Mm-hmm. Now, how did others find out about these events?
I know Kira and I were initially invited. I don't know
So
what made everybody decide to invite Sam or Francisco.
so
But I know initially it was the three of us.
who invited both yourself and Kira Smethers?
Will.
Okay, thank you. Did you find it peculiar that Shawn Tempesta was not at these events?
Yes. I thought we were going to do another free-for-all meetup like we do every time someone's in town.
Yeah, of course. Out of curiosity, did Mr. Dorsey give explicit instructions not to invite Shawn Tempesta to the event?
Not necessarily you. He said he wanted to keep this trip on the down low and not make it a big deal.
On the down low. Now, would you consider inviting nearly half a dozen free-for-all guests to his events, the down low? Can you,
no.
first of all, for the jury, can you please define down low?
He didn't want to broadcast it on Free for All and therefore make it like a big deal where we all have to do a meetup.
Okay. If you had known Shawn Tempesta was not invited, would you have suggested to the defendant that he invite him?
I thought he was going to meet up with you.
Okay. Interesting. Are you surprised that Mr. Dorsey did not invite Mr. Tempesta?
Yes.
Thank you. With the closing time that we have here, I saw that you were with Mr. Dorsey not only at bowling, you were also there at pinball. I did notice, however, there was a particular night, I believe the night of July 17th, where one Miss Kira Smethers was joined in the room, as one time you were invited to Will Dorsey's room at one point during a prior trip. However, this time a different Samantha, a Samantha Nunley, joined Will's room. How does that make you feel?
I mean, he has to hang out with other people. I didn't feel too offended by it. But before time runs out, can I add one more thing?
Unfortunately,
It's
our
already
time
out.
is
It's
running out. I'd like
over.
to reclaim my time.
Dude, is that okay? Can I add one more thing?
No, we have to keep on a tight schedule. I'm sorry. I have to.
Oh, it was just gonna take like 5 seconds.
Please refer to him
Well,
as
you have
Honor.
30. You have
Yeah,
these 3
I'm
minutes
your
to say
honor.
whatever you'd like.
Mr. Dorsey,
3
your time
minutes?
begins
Oh.
now.
All right, Miss Pearson. Thank you for
Yes,
joining
Mr.
us here
Dorsey.
today.
Of course.
So when you noticed that Mr. Tempesta was not part of any events, did you at any point send him any kind of messages to invite him to said event?
No, but since you would have invited other people, I would have assumed you would invite him as well, because you asked me and my mom to lunch, but you didn't ask Shawn to go anywhere.
Wow.
We just didn't take a picture, so Shawn didn't see that
Wow.
one.
That was a good one.
I paid. I have the credit card bill to prove it.
Yes.
I paid.
Why?
Because why not? Because my mom said that that she thinks I should let you know, and unfortunately, my allegiance is always to my mother, no matter who it's against. So I had to bring it up.
Yeah,
That was
we're
not
looking for
part
the
of the
truthiness,
case.
so I appreciate
That was
that.
not
Sam.
part of the case.
That was
I
the one thing
appreciate
I
the
wanted to add.
truthiness.
That was not part of the
You're welcome.
case. Okay,
So?
so
There was
with the
no
remaining
picture
time-
taken.
Okay,
She's not supposed to lie
hold
about
on,
it,
hold
Will.
on. Okay, can I ask that?
Order.
Can I treat this witness like a hostile witness?
No,
Watch
you
your
stop
ass.
badgering
No,
the
you may
witness.
not.
I'll allow that, Michelle. I'll allow that.
Okay. Did I have any actual plans for this trip?
Yes,
Oh,
you wanted to
God,
do
do I want
specific
to answer
things.
that?
You
Can I
wanted to go,
text Samantha?
you wanted to go to the
Michelle.
pinball machine. You wanted to go bowling. You wanted to go to the escape room, and I know you wanted to drink. We did not plan specific. Oh, and also you wanted to go to a baseball game, and we did all of those things.
I'm done with this witness.
Wow!
This
All right.
witness is
Thank
blowing
you.
up my case.
Thank
You're
you so
wrong.
You don't
much.
have a case.
You're welcome, Judge.
I, if I may,
Judge,
Your Honor, I was unaware that there was also a baseball game attended. That is,
Ooh, that's new evidence.
having played
Will did
Little
not,
League for
put
9
the
years.
pictures
You
Yeah.
loved
in that post.
I do love baseball. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun game.
It is a fun game.
If you may,
All right.
I'd like to speak with my client for just a second if the jury would like to.
Yes, sir.
chime
Yes,
in.
sir.
Yeah.
Harvey, thoughts?
Hello, Jerry.
So much. I wish I was a witness. God, do I wish I was a witness.
I wish you were a
I-
witness.
We can switch
I think that
places.
there's a backhoe
So
that
much
might be involved somewhere.
You like
A
baseball?
what?
Yeah, I like baseball. Yeah,
I like baseball too. Like,
We
you
went
like
to an
bowling?
Aviators game.
Aviators game. I'm
I didn't
familiar
go
with
to an
those.
Aviators game.
Wait.
I didn't go to an
Yeah,
Aviators
not
game
even
either,
Kira
by
was
the way.
invited to the Aviators game. It was just me and
No,
Will.
I
How
invited.
am I being? Hold on. How is this happening? Like this is what? How come the other witnesses are talking to the jury right now?
Order, guys. Order.
No, the jury's talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, the jury's talking amongst
no,
themselves.
the witness chimed
Harvey,
in.
really,
Witness,
Yes.
please stop.
Harvey,
I
do you like
apologize.
bowling?
Sorry.
Thank you.
I do like bowling. I love
Just
I love I love to put on those shoes. They're pretty cool. Look all snazzy in them.
I like how you slide.
Yes.
You do it
What
right.
size bowling ball do you like to use?
All right.
13.
Are we ready for our next witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The Honorable Judge Spoonie Love from up above would like to call Kira to the witness stand.
Looney Love.
From up above.
Period.
Shawn Tempesta, your time starts now.
Thank you. Ms. Smethers, please, if you can, keep your answers tight as we have a very short amount of time here. I would like to enter Exhibit A into the fold here. Please tell me what this is.
Those are text messages between you and I.
Okay, so I had asked my client had asked you how everyone found out about bowling, and you said explicitly that he wanted to go bowling. Samantha was doing whatever was happening. Will asked to invite Francisco, and I think Will asked Sam Nunley. Are these all true statements?
The last one, I'm not entirely sure because I asked Samantha to come to the hotel room and the night before, and I don't remember if it was me or him that inviting her to bowling for the next day, but everything else, yes.
Thank you. I'd like to reclaim my time. Exhibit 2, if you could, Exhibit B here, could you please explain what it is that we're looking at?
Bowling in the escape room.
Over how many hours and or days did these events take place?
2 days. I don't know hours.
That picture we're looking at right there, is that you
I love that
bringing
picture.
bringing his luggage from the airport?
Yes, when we picked him up from the airport.
Thank you.
Samantha, shush.
Do you believe that Mr. Dorsey acted in malice by not inviting my client?
Acted in malice? I don't think he acted in malice.
Do you believe that you share any responsibility for Shawn Tempesta not being invited to these games, these
Any
events?
responsibility? Yeah, I think we all do.
Okay. Exhibit 3, if I may. This is from a program called Finding My Perfect Awkward, a very lowly watched show on Twitch.
Well, excuse me.
Excuse me, if I may reclaim my time. If I may reclaim my time, Your Honor, please. Thank you. This is from 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 8 seconds into the broadcast.
I did not aid in a bed. He told me not to tell him, and
I didn't. Oh no! Don't you sit here and lie. Do not.
Yes, you
sit here and
did.
lie. I did.
Okay. Did Mr. Dorsey tell you explicitly not to invite Shawn Tempesta, as you said there in that clip?
He told me not to tell anybody about his trip because he wanted to keep it on the down low. He did not explicitly say to not invite you or Mr. Tempesta to specific events.
Okay.
Hey Nick, this guy's a little fishy, don't you think?
If I may, we have just a quick moment
Order,
left.
jury, please do not talk amongst yourself during the actual witness.
If I may, I have 10 seconds left of my time here. I'd like to reclaim it. Can you please explain this picture, and were you held against your will?
No, it was good morning and I was tired.
Okay.
That's Samantha's will.
Oh, that's Samantha's will. All right, Mr. William Bartholomew Dorsey, your time starts now.
Hello. Thank you for joining us, Miss Kathleen. How are you doing?
I'm swell.
Were you aware that you were being countersued today?
Objection, Your Honor. That is not a
Excuse
countersue.
you?
Sorry.
Sustained. What countersuit? I do not have anything in front of me about a countersuit. That will have to be addressed at a different day.
Hmm. Okay. Why did you not invite Mr. Tempesta to any events over the course of the trip?
I was under the impression that you had already asked him to hang out for the weekend, and he had said no, which is what my assumption was.
Okay, and what was stopping you, even if I had asked?
Alex
what was
Barrio,
stopping
you
you
shut
from
it.
asking Mr. Tempesta?
I assumed that you already had. And it wasn't my trip to ask. You said to keep it on the down low, and I was leaving it up to your discretion.
Were you aware that Mr. Tempesta knew that I was in town on the dates in question?
I knew that you had told him the Friday that you got there because of Free4All, and you didn't want anybody to know where you were during the show. But as far as being invited anywhere, I didn't know. I was under an inception.
Are you aware that your internet is like dial-up internet right now?
Yes.
Order.
I'm aware.
Stop badgering the witness.
Yeah, thank you.
Sustained.
Are you aware that I'm losing this case?
I am aware of that too.
Are you aware that on future? Are you aware that in the future that you would invite Mr. Tempesta on every little thing going forward?
Of course. Usually I would.
Okay, so then what stopped you on this trip?
Order.
Objection, obviously.
This is not about what Kira did. This is about what you've done.
Or, Your Honor, if I may,
allegedly,
what he didn't do.
What he did not.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I didn't because, again, I was under the assumption I had already answered the question.
Do you like Mr. Tempesta?
Yes.
Do you like Mr. Dorsey?
Sometimes.
Wow, that's
Okay.
Your Honor, let's hear from the jury if we may, just for a moment, so I can speak with my.
We figure out what down low means.
Well, it can't mean too terribly low, because on July 11th, I got a message asking me if I wanted to go to an escape room on Sunday. And I said that Sunday would not be that good of an idea because it's my anniversary. And he said, so invite Ryan too.
And I was supposed to.
I've
Oh, wait, never mind.
I've got a question for
that should be expunged.
Judge, Your Honor. I have a question for one of the witnesses, Mr. Francisco.
Can this even happen?
Well, no, like the jury has to ask the judge to ask the questions.
And if I'll even allow it.
Right. So, Your Honor, I was wondering, on the night of the bowling, was there a turkey involved, or did Mr. Dorsey strike out?
Was there a what? I'm sorry?
Was there a turkey involved on the night of bowling, or did Mr. Dorsey strike out?
A little bit of both.
Hold on, no, that's a
game.
lie, because I definitely got it. I got a turkey in the game. Yes, I did, because remember I got the 3 strikes in a row to end the game.
You lost the first game.
Order.
You lost the first game. And then you did better on the second game.
I didn't lose the game. How did I lose the game? At the very end of the
Samantha
last game,
beat you.
I rolled 3.
Order.
I beat you in both games.
This
Don't
is
even lie.
inconsequential evidence.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
This has no merit towards the case, Mr. Dorsey.
Nunley beat you all, so.
And Mr. Quill, there's no evidence. This is not relevant to the case. I'm sorry.
And Your Honor, I do have one more question.
Yes, sir.
Was Mr. Dorsey out in Las Vegas, in fact, out here house hunting?
No,
he
that has
wasn't.
no relevance to the case as well.
Okay.
All right. We are now towards the closing sessions. Each side will have their chance to present their closing argument for 1 minute. Mr. Tempesta, you are first.
Even matters.
Thank you very much. I believe it
order,
does matter.
Will
I
Dorsey.
believe in the case of what the definition of friendship is. I believe it matters quite a bit. I believe that the case that I brought forth today against Mr. Dorsey has been forged in granite, in its in the realities of what truth are and what friendship is. My client received a plaque from Mr. Dorsey, thanking him for bringing eons of entertainment to the masses during the pandemic, and my client feels incredibly crestfallen that Mr. Dorsey would not only not invite Mr. Tempesta, but would invite several others, including a bit player husband and former ex-husband of one of our typical. So I would like to. That's the end of my closing arguments. I hope that the jury finds in my favor. Thank you.
Mr. Dorsey,
Because you went
1
over
minute for
your
your
time.
by a second. Do you want an extra
You're
second? I'll give
wasting
you
your
3.
time.
Go.
Look, I texted Shawn. I told him that I was in town. He didn't try to hang out with me, and I made the mistake of not messaging him to hang out with him. There were many other parties that were also involved that also didn't invite him. So I don't feel like I should take the blame for all of. Shut up. Ew.
Oh, there was a roller coaster ride too.
I forgot to.
Shut up. This is not time. This is not time.
I wasn't invited to that either.
Your Honor, if I may, I'll wait until this time is over.
I forgot to add something. Oops.
Oh my gosh.
Order.
I can't win.
Your Honor, if I may, I believe an accusation was made of my client that is false. Mr. Dorsey said that he had texted prior, and I'm reading these texts here from July 13th. A text from William Dorsey, are we doing this thing or nah? Talking about actually being on the show, to which my client answered in the affirmative. On July 13th, once again, the client, Mr. Dorsey, texted, "It was fun. Thank you, buddy." In which case, Shawn Tempesta said, "Thank you as well." That was July 13th. The next text did not come until Saturday, July 24th, in which time Will Dorsey was not was back in the greater Colorado Springs area. However, he was attempting to try to get my client's computer to work again so he can play Press Your Dong on the show. So that is
Okay. Can I come back at that one?
Yes, you
so
can
you
have
say
one
July
rebuttal.
13th.
Mm-hmm.
You said July 13th, but
That's correct.
What about July 16th at 6:44 p.m.?
now, are we? You said no.
Were stated.
No, Messages is not a texting platform. That is a messaging platform from Facebook. Texts are used via the cell phone service. So, which are you speaking?
Oh hell no!
That's not an answer. You just
You did say
Judge
text.
Spoon.
It's a valid
You
question.
said text. Order.
Very clear.
Jury
Order.
requests that you answer.
All right.
Judge Spoon.
All right. Yes.
Am I allowed to add that accusation by Francisco that popped up earlier?
No, I think we're good.
I would love to hear it. Actually, I would actually love to hear it.
Okay. Yes.
What occurred?
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
So one of my one of my friends, and Will. Yes, mommy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bad word.
One of my friends, and Will all went to dinner one night. And something happened. I will not reveal that information, but three
something
of us
happened.
all ended up. Nothing. It was. He got an email. I'll leave it there.
Said, "Ooh, something
The job
happened."
offer.
And all three of us ended up at Adventure Dome, and he did go on a roller coaster with the three of us. The two of us. The three of us went on a roller coaster.
Mr. Dorsey, if you're going to sleep
Samantha-
in my court, I will dismiss this case and make a judgment on
Can I
my
Please
own.
dismiss the
follow-up
case.
to that?
Dismiss
mommy?
the case. I
And
would love
I will
that.
make a judgment on my own.
Wait. Yes, mommy, you
Am I
had
am I allowed to ask a question?
Sure,
Oh,
why
gosh.
not?
Samantha, did you go to the escape room?
I was invited to, but based off of location, I have very few areas I am not allowed to drive to, and it was one of those areas. So I had to politely decline because of said area.
Oh, that's what you wanted when I said no. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was
confused about
supposed to
that.
go, but based off of location.
Okay.
I could not.
If I may, because we're getting close to time here. If I can
Okay.
ask our mod our mod number one, if I may, number one. Free for all.
I love this.
Yes.
No.
Brilliant.
If I may ask Nick Daniels to please, if you may, can you add a poll for 5 minutes to the chat with the question: is Will Dorsey guilty?
Then what's the point of a jury?
Does it really take
well,
5 minutes?
They are
to-
part of the jury, and yes, it does. I would like to extend this as long as humanly possible.
Okay.
The jury counts for one vote.
We'll ask the jury members here what they believe.
Mr. Dong King, Nick Daniels, what is your verdict?
Please move on to Michelle as I am creating the poll.
Okay. Hi, Michelle.
Okay, what is the exact question that I'm answering?
Is Will Dorsey guilty or not guilty of not including Shawn Tempesta in his trip and plans while he was in Las Vegas?
Guilty.
Harvey.
Mr. Harvey.
I have a question about clarification of the question which I'm being asked of. Is the question including Mr. Tempesta in knowing that Mr. Dorsey was in Las Vegas?
Oh, no.
Or is it just
In any
including
of the plans,
any of the
and
plans? Okay.
events. Yes.
Okay. He's guilty.
Thank you. Mr. Don King.
The poll is now up. You have less than 5 minutes to create your verdict. But my verdict, and I will not vote twice, is guilty.
Okay, there you have it. Right now, it's 3 for guilty. And then the audience will be one last vote.
I would like to make a point to the court that I did not want to litigate. I felt as though that this is the last thing I could do in order to get justice in this matter. My adoration of William Dorsey. Thank you, Mr. Judge, for subscribing to my channel.
You're welcome.
In a totally independent manner.
Yeah,
unbiased.
Very unbiased.
So, thank you very much. You're here for the exciting conclusion, Sarah. I've brought William Dorsey to court today over friendship. We learned a lot today. That unbeknownst to me, that more than just bowling and pinball and escape rooms and sleeping in the same room with another Samantha took place during this trip.
Okay, first off, sleeping in the same room with another Samantha did not even happen. I wasn't even in the room when that Samantha was sleeping.
As she was sleeping, no. That is correct. In the same room for a few hours, absolutely.
Can I ask what took place during those few hours?
Drinking.
We were watching burlesque. We were watching burlesque and eating canes and drinking.
I left when they started watching burlesque.
But he ate and drank with us, so. And was in the car when we got canes.
Did you go hang out with Shawn?
Did I go hang out with Shawn?
No, Will.
Will said he left.
Oh, Will.
What did you go
I
do
went for a walk.
at that time? At what
Did you call
time?
Shawn
For a
Tempesta?
walk.
I am
Look, I've already
As-
said
as
that
a-
I'm gonna.
as a member of the not only the plaintiff, but also I'm a part of the jury because I'm allowed to vote on polls. I have placed my vote for
Oh,
guilty.
we're allowed to vote on polls?
Yeah. Oh, all of you.
Our witnesses? Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Everyone.
Even
Yeah.
witnesses?
I voted.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Sure.
Perfect.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'll vote again.
I didn't want it to come to this. Will.
Yeah, I'm just watching
Well, I'm kind of
the
disappointed.
numbers go up.
This was all in Will's hands. I mean,
Joe
Mistrial.
Quills is asking for a mistrial.
Joe
It was a
Quills.
mistrial. It was a
Based
mistrial.
on what?
Mistrial.
Order. There is no mistrial in my
It
court.
was skewed
You
against
smacked
me. It
that
was a
little tyke
mistrial.
hammer, Judge. You smacked
You
that little
lost.
tyke hammer.
If I may, Mr. Dorsey, how did you know to be at court today?
Oh, he got you there, buddy.
What do you mean?
How did you know to appear today in a suit and have a defense ready?
Well,
I
sort of.
didn't have a defense ready.
I mean, he didn't have a defense ready. Yeah.
Probably.
be honest.
Probably.
I had no-
You really
Oh,
didn't.
hold on. I didn't
You
even
just
get
showed
the
up.
rules for this case until like 15 minutes before court.
You could have been
Rules.
planning
I didn't even
something
know what
all
was
day.
gonna
You had
happen.
24 hours in
Okay.
advance.
I had no idea that anything, like I didn't know what was going to go down for this case until 15
Were you not
minutes
paying attention
before.
on Free4All yesterday? I mean, I knew what was going to go
He
down,
didn't-
and I wasn't
He
even
didn't give-
watching.
He didn't give rules.
It's Shawn. You should know.
It's
what
court.
you're
There are
doing.
no rules.
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if there's
Except
no
those
rules,
that are
then this
written
whole
down.
court is out of order.
Well,
You're out of order, sir.
You're out of
You
order.
wish.
You're out of order.
You're all out of order, except Nick.
No,
He's
you're
so-
out of order. Judge, you are so
You
out
don't
of
even
order.
know what movie you're trying to quote.
Yes, I do.
Your Honor,
Not
No,
you,
she's gonna
Yes,
him.
sir.
leave.
the poll is now closed.
Ooh.
The poll
Right.
is out of order.
You shut up.
You shut up. Can I get a
Rules
new
of the-
judge? I want to appeal this decision.
The rules of the
I'm
courtroom
not the
are
one
obey the
making
law,
any-
and the judge is always right.
Yeah. This is respect my authority. All right. As the poll closes, 79% to 21% for guilty. Mr. Tempesta, thank you for your time. Mr. Dorsey,
Thank you,
have
Your
been
Honor.
found guilty by this court.
I don't care.
Is there a
Quite obvious.
punishment?
It's quite obvious, Will. that you do not.
Wow. That's obvious.
yeah.
Glad to know you don't care about it.
damn, Will.
May
God.
I ask the jury?
Arraignment will be scheduled for next week.
Yeah. What should be the what should be the penalty for said for said crime?
Shawn, you won, but do you really feel like you won? I mean, isn't your heart just broken? I think
Having-
the punishment
Oh
is
my!
fine.
How? Hold on. What?
Having to file suit against somebody that you cared so much about,
Right.
and then to find
Pain.
out that
Yeah.
it is. There is what I'd like to do, Your Honor, is actually beyond. I would like the jury to factor in pain and suffering into the
Absolutely.
the penalty phase.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. I
I
agree.
agree as well.
Unfortunately, so do I.
Yep.
Sorry,
Same.
Will.
Your
Sorry,
Honor,
Will.
Yes, sir.
For the
I'm not
sentencing
sorry.
phase, might I recommend or can I suggest the Kyle King will of punishment for Mr. Dorsey to have to spin that will?
You know, that is a good point, Your Honor.
That is
I'm
a
not
very
sure if
good
you
interest.
understand. While Shawn Tempesta put himself through hell, and many other members of the show did as well during
Oh,
the
yes.
March,
My gosh.
raising
That is
money
right.
for the lovely folks at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Mr. Dorsey
Yep.
The kids.
did not take part in
Declined
any of the
everything.
challenges.
Yep.
He declined everything.
Oh,
He also
I did
declined
not
the
decline
reset
everything.
button, so we
No,
we
yes,
might
you
want to
did.
factor in. We might want to
I
factor
did
in a
not
free reset button because he did decline that as well.
That's true.
Yes, absolutely.
If I may suggest to the court,
Michelle.
if I may suggest to
Yes.
the court and to the jury, I believe that penalty should be at the minimum reset button for the entirety of the New York roller coaster.
In addition, if I may suggest, I think that he needs to very humbly start every show that he is on with a heartfelt apology to you, Shawn.
I'm a stupid douche.
Comes out of left field. Comes out of left field. Quiet the whole entire time.
Where?
And out of left field.
Ashley?
Oh God! All right. Well, we will figure out sentencing. Mr. Dorsey, now I know that you like to hold these things close to the vest. However, when do you believe you'll be back in the Las Vegas area once again?
I'm coming out for SummerSlam,
Okay. When is that taking place, Mr. Dorsey?
August 20th.
Okay.
Well,
was
it
I
takes
was
place
I
on August 21st.
was I invited to buy tickets alongside you and Francisco for that?
Oh,
that
and
event?
someone else.
And Kira.
Oh, and
Why?
Kira.
Well,
And
I asked for a ticket. So it was just
Okay,
them two, and
So
Yes.
I can definitely say that there were no invites that went out for SummerSlam.
No.
Once
wasn't
again,
even
we
invited.
find ourselves in the same predicament where it's like, how did they find out and buy tickets next to you?
Exactly. Of
All
course
I
it was
did,
discussed.
all I did was message Francisco and say,
So
"Hey,
there was plans
SummerSlam
made.
is coming
there
to Las
was
Vegas."
plan.
That's called plans, Will.
That sounds like a plan.
Can we, Judge? Can you please look up the definition of what plans are?
Yes, I sure will.
Can we move on?
lost two cases in one go.
It's that's the
Plans. A
case.
detailed proposal for doing or achieving something.
Why are we?
So, yes,
why are we still
Judge,
doing
officially,
this?
yeah,
Find
My
it to
name's
be
Will
Yes.
Dorsey, and I'm a
Quite-
stupid
Oh
douche.
wait, isn't none?
Well, I'm changing that to your contact name. That is your new contact name.
Stupid douche.
I am Will Dorsey.
Samantha, I'm clean. I pay that bill.
I'll let it be known. Okay, we and scene.
Yeah.